All right, I'm going to talk to you guys today about making posts, doing videos, a whole 9 yards. I've started doing some of the animated videos, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pictures of these units that I just set up, and I'm going to show you, the best picture that I can do with them, and then I'm going to do some animated versions of them. And I want you to think about what that does as far as grabbing the attention of the customer, or the kids, or whoever's involved. And again, everything has taste, and everything is going to be different, so nothing is going to fit everyone 100% for every circumstance. But what you're trying to do is get a broad picture out there for most people. What I try to do is to convey what imagination does when it comes to the inflatable. So I mean, we have a fire truck. This is a tent and table unit. We have a fire truck unit with a dog on top, and of course the front is a fire truck. And then over here is one of Leisure's volcano 16-foot slides or 15-foot slides. And again, it has the kind of the lava wave at the top. There's tons of stuff that we can do with these units. It doesn't just have to be something like a pop-up, like you see the dog there. It can be, the lava wave, and I'll show you how that's going to make a difference. And again, you can kind of make it fit into any circumstance or any situation. I did one that was a teapot, and I made it into an Alice in Wonderland kind of theme. And obviously that's not what all teapots are, but it puts some ideas in people's heads, and also makes things entertaining. Now, getting into the nuts and bolts of this, what happens with customers, especially on social media, is that social media loves for them to watch stuff and watch it for a long time, because the longer they're on there, the more social media gets to bank those hours and show that they've got interest in their site and interest in the things that are going on. So all of the social medias are pushing very, very, very hard on video, longer video, but it's very, very difficult to have both. It's hard to get a long form video and to grab the attention. So what we shoot for is something that is shorter, under 15-30 seconds, something that kind of reaches out, grabs people's attention, brings them in, and lets them watch it for 30 seconds and then move on. So there's where we are. That's why we're doing what we're doing, is because it's changed to a point. And again, it's gonna continue to morph and change, and especially with technology coming on, the technology that I'm using that allows me to do the video editing. I use 3 or 4 different programs, and there's a million of them out there. And honestly, it's not rocket science. Everybody, if you've got the time and the ability, you can do it, and the money. But that being said, who has the time? Who has the ability to do this and that, and all the other things that are going on, setting up the units, working full-time jobs, taking care of kids. There's some things that you have to turn over, and what I want to do is try to provide a cheaper alternative for you doing it yourself. And again, I'm pretty flexible with the way that I do it. The key is going to be that you do constant contacts, constant content, so that you're putting stuff out there all the time. One and done is not going to get it. And again, it doesn't have to always be what I'm talking about. You could do regular posts, you could do your own videos, you could do live videos like this. But it is important that you continue to put content out there, because that's what the algorithm is looking for. That's what is going to get you pushed in front of more people. The more people watch your stuff and watch your stuff for longer, the more people are going to have the opportunity to watch it, and in the future watch other videos. So it's about that. Now, on the flip side, they're trying to sell products as well. So they're trying to sell boosts and things like that. So be careful with that. There are some benefits to boosting your videos, getting that out there. But on the flip side, you don't want to get in a situation where you're spending more money than you're making off of your videos. And you have to. Honestly, to tell you the truth, this is not what the Marketing Ninja and some of the other folks are doing. What I'm talking about, what they're doing is direct SEO. Getting your searches higher, getting in front of customers because you're on the Google, search or whatever that part of it is. That's not what I'm talking about. This is content-based stuff. This is literally you providing pictures and videos and telling a story about you and your business. And it doesn't have to be a personal story. It could be a fairy tale story. It could be, whatever. You can make up a story and, about how the volcano caught on fire and the police department had to come put it out, or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. But you have to get in front of those customers and you have to entertain them, because that's what's being looked for. And again, this is a totally different situation from something like the Marketing Ninja or any of the SEO builders or marketers or anything like that. They are an absolute necessity, and you have to be doing those kind of things to get on top of the list. This is you fighting with other people on the top of the list, or people in your area or demographics. If you've got 15, 20 bounce house companies in your area and everybody's doing the same thing, you're going to have to do something to stand out. Showing you pictures of these, and again, I may have a different combo unit than you do. I may have a different slide, but inevitably they are the same units. They will fit into certain things. So you have to stand out with your personality, with your video, with your content, with your ability to, make people want you because they like whatever you've got to offer, what services you're doing, or whatever stores. I have seen a ton of videos of people who are doing this, 15 different ways. One is just someone telling stories about, funny stuff that happens when they set up units. That is an amazing way to do it, because it literally puts you in the living room with the customer, and they can relate to you because they understand the problems, because they have problems too. Maybe not the same problems, but they have similar problems, and they're going through them too. Amazing way to do it. And then there's another one that literally just makes his into music videos, and he relates with his customers because they're doing hard work, and there's good music behind it, and it's showing fun things for kids to do, and the whole 9 yards. Again, 100% is what you need to do and how you need to do it. But if you can't do all that, what are you going to do? If you don't have the ability to do it, if you don't have the knack, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the service, if you don't have the software, if you don't have the know-how, what are you going to do? And again, I'm not talking about making something fake or creating a story for you that's not you or anything like that. I don't want to do that. But I do want to kind of push a side of this that does work, and that is to showcase the units and showcase them in a way that sparks the imagination of the kids, makes the wonder of the parents, everybody watches, everybody says ooh, ah, and they call you and rent the stuff. So think about that. Think about how you can market your stuff. Now, there is a different side to this, and that side is this simply. You cannot just simply put a picture on any of the social medias and expect it to do well. That's not what it's about. You have to back that with an optimized description and title, and I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. So I don't want you to think that the end all to this is taking some good pictures or doing some crazy videos, and then all of a sudden you're going to be rich and you're going to have all the money that you want, because that's not what it's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to be sorely disappointed. What you need to do is to make sure that you take care of the other side of that, the optimization side. And you could do that very, very easy, simply by asking the free version of ChatGPT or Grok or any of the programs out there, how write me, put a picture in there and say, write me a optimized description of this so that I can get the most amount of views on Facebook for my customers who want to rent this bounce house during this time of year. And you need to be specific about all those things, because Facebook posts are different than YouTube, and they're different from X, and they're different from TikTok, and they're different from Instagram. All of those are all different. And if you optimize for one, you may not be optimized for another. And time of year is different, and location is different, and unit is different. I mean, obviously this and my teapot bounce are not going to be geared toward the same customer. So optimization for this, now that's not to say that a little girl won't want a firehouse, and it's not to say the little boy won't want a teapot, but the 99% of the population out there is looking for something specific. You need to optimize for that particular item. And this is a fire truck. Now this could go with, some of the popular cartoons. This could go with fire departments. This could go with animals that's got a dog on it. It could go with, just all kind of things. So, there's a different way to do it, and there's a different way to get in front of the customers. You just have to make sure you do that. I hope this helps. And if I can do anything for you, please let me know. We are selling the videos right now. And again, I'm doing it cheap, and 100%, I want you to be happy with it. So I'm not going to beat anybody up over a price or anything like that. And I will do anything I can do to try to help you. If you want to try to learn how to do this stuff yourself, I've got some tips and stuff that I can give you. Again, I do want to caution you that this isn't something that is inexpensive or super easy or something like that. It takes some hours of learning. And again, I'm not a rocket science. I'm not the end all of any of this, and I'm certainly not the richest guy out there. So it's not about money or anything like that. But I do want you to know you can spend several of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not really. You could spend several hundreds of dollars, and maybe even $1,000 on software to try to get you in the right place. And if you're spending that money and you're not bringing in the money to balance that out, it's not doing you a whole lot. So keep that in mind. And also time. I have literally in the last week kind of started pushing the videos out on folks, and I have been on the computer making videos 10-11 hours a day, spitting out videos, and they're very, very simple and easy and short and the whole 9 yards. But it's the other side of it that keeps popping up, that fixing the tiny details, making sure you have the optimization, making sure you have all the little things right, doing some retouch ups and things like that, going back and forth with a customer and saying, hey, is this what you wanted? No, you want the different font, or you want this in the whole 9 yards, or whatever. So the point is that you could spend a lot of time doing this. Now, if you're spending a lot of money and you're spending a lot of time, what you're not doing is rolling bounces. Again, I'm out doing it this weekend. I've got bounces going on this weekend. I had them out, just like most of us, we're doing it during the weekend. But I'm retired from work, so during the week, I'm not doing a whole lot other than marketing and things like that. So keep that in mind. And again, I'm not trying to dissuade anybody. I don't want you to be, you should have a working knowledge of all this stuff on your own. Just at least a basic level, because you don't want to get in a situation where you're being, cheated or misrepresented or whatever. But on the flip side, make sure that you're not getting into a situation where you're spending more time and effort on something that's not making you money, because inevitably you're in this business to make, to rent jumpies. You're not in it to spend money. And you can very easy. Anyway, thanks. If I can do anything, y'all let me know, and we'll see you on the next one.